Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your May 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you want to help this channel grow and expand and reach more people, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out here on YouTube, so thank you so much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Sagittarius, May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. All right, think of this as a tree. Here we have the branches, here we have the trunk and the kind of rooted area. So let's see what the tarot has to say. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is, of course, the inner self. The left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. And here in the center are the roots of it all. For our heart, we have the Empress, and we have the Eight of Cups. So we're bringing forward something into this world, but we're also walking away from something. And our hearts may very well be torn about this. We have the King of Wands, fire sign energy, which of course is us, coming through as a king, the sacred masculine energy. We begin with a 9, we end with a 9. We have the Nine of Cups right here. And there's a sense of blessings, of wishes coming true, of power. But there's also a sense of us not seeing this within ourselves. Other people will be able to see it much more easily than we are ourselves, able to see the power that guides us forward. We have the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. At our root, we have the King. In our inner selves, we see ourselves as a page, as a student. And then we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, April 20th to May 20th. Now, the Page of Cups in our inner self could also be a child. And that child, or a very innocent-like energy that gives us information, gives us guidance that we didn't expect to be hearing and comes from a very unlikely place. It's kind of like, wow, I didn't expect it. It's like out of the mouth of a babe is what Spirit is saying. Okay. So let's see what our chakra energy is for this time. Sagittarius, May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels, and spirit guides. Right here. Okay, those two, Spirit said. So we have rebirth with the Earth Star Chakra, and we have listening with the Throat Chakra coming forward. Should we start now? Yeah. No, let's start now. Let's start talking about this right now. The Earth Star Chakra is located 6 inches below our feet. So here is this sense of rebirth in the energy that feeds us, that grounds us, that roots us, that transforms us. And this is going to be a rebirth within ourselves, within what we desire, within what we want, within the way that we're moving forward, and really looking at things more openly and honestly, because there is a transformation that's going on within our hearts. We're not going to be able to get to the place that we want to be if we don't first embrace and be empowered by this rebirth. If we walk away from it, we're going to see ourselves walking away from a very important part of us. So there's a transformation here that's going to be hard for us to fully accept at times, but it's also going to be imperative for us to see it in order to be emboldened by it. Now, with listening, with the throat chakra, so often when we think of the throat chakra, we think of talking. We think of, putting our 2 cents out there, and everybody in the world is putting their 2 cents out there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes it is. We have a world of talkers and not enough listeners. This is time to step back and say, what am I hearing? What is filling my ears? What am I listening to? What am I drawn to? Why am I drawn to this? And it's really embracing the art of listening, even if it's just sitting outside in nature, in the sunlight, and listening to the birds, listening to the world around us. It's important. It's important to connect. It's important to decompress. It's important to hear, and not simply to be feeding the loop that's in our own heads. It's pushing our ideas. It's pushing ourselves forward. And now the energy that we need to be mindful of. What is the energy that Sagittarius needs to be mindful of? May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's the King of Swords. So this is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is a person who is very blunt, who can be very, very logical. They just want to see the facts of it. They want to see the facts. They want to see what is going on. Why is it going on here? Give me the numbers. Give me, short little synopses of everything. Keep on pumping it forward. And they're going to be rather cold and distant because for them, in order to do their job, they're going to have to disconnect. But this can also be a person that finds it rather hard to connect the way that they really want to, or the way that we need them to. So here we can be coming up against somebody who is just more in their own head at this time. And for some of us, it's going to be a partner. For others of us, it's going to be a friend, a family member, where they're in their own heads and they're not able to connect the way that we want them to. They're working through their own stuff, and they have to be a little bit cold and distant right now, not because of anything that we ourselves have done, but because where they are in their journey. So just being aware of that, it's going to be rather empowering, because we're going to say to ourselves, I'm going to step back. Because Sagittarius, we have this way of pulling everybody together, of saying, let's be part of this group, let's get things going, let's talk, let's discover. And this person right now, they need to be in solitude. They need to look at their ideas. They need to kind of bounce things off themselves. If they have come to the point where, okay, I'm ready to share these ideas with another person, they may very well come to you. And the first reaction is going to be, well, rude. You couldn't be here when I needed you, but now when you need me, I'm supposed to drop everything. Taking the ego out of it and maybe just hearing this person out, that's going to be really important. So be mindful of this energy, because it's going to be rather confusing, but there's also going to be revelations that come from it. Now, at our root, the support of us here is the King of Cups and the Hierophant. The Hierophant is tradition, it's institutions, it's structure, it's ideas, but the King of Cups is also saying, I only rule myself. So where the Hierophant is this coming together of ideas and, time-honored traditions, or it is even, this is what I need to be true to me. This is what I need to be able to live my life. If I go against this inside of me, this part of me, I go against everything that I stand for and everything that I am. The Hierophant is somebody here who challenges, who tells kings what to do, because remember, in ancient times, in medieval times, the Pope could tell kings and queens and emperors and empresses what to do. So you have this power coming over this whole entire space of force and understanding and determination and insight and wisdom, but questions and discovering and gaining. So here we have that energy coming forward, and it's saying, be true to ourselves. And then the King of Cups comes forward and says, the only person I can rule is me. I cannot rule anybody else. And yet we might say, nor do I want to. But a lot of times, yes, we do want to, because it'd be a lot easier if people just did what we wanted when we wanted them to, and we didn't have to, sit there and try to puzzle it all out. So here, with the King of Cups, there's this real sense, and especially in the nighttime when we're thinking about things and we're becoming frustrated. I can just feel this frustration building up around the heart chakra, even around the throat chakra, where we're not listening anymore. We're not voicing what we need. We're just in this bubble of frustration. The King of Cups is saying, understand that the only person we can change is ourselves. The only thing that we can change is who we are. And that's powerful. That is more powerful than we give it credit for. And so the King of Cups, he's in the middle of his emotions. And that's where we need to be. And it sounds like, oh, okay, I could do that. I can be in the middle of my emotions. But can we be in our emotions and not let them drown us? Can we see ourselves and not be justifying things, but say, okay, well, that was a shitty thing that I did. Or, oh, that was a really great thing that I did. And, oh, okay, I understand this, but I don't understand that. And see ourselves as the complex individuals that we are. And say, I only rule me. And I don't even get that right all the time. So I cannot rule anybody else, because the Hierophant can have this air of, I kind of want to rule other people. I want things to happen when I need them to happen and right now. But the Hierophant is also the sense of, I need to follow the tradition that is right for me. And the more I connect with my heart, the more I connect with myself, the more I see this, the more I understand this. And so we're going to have this kind of little bit of a battle going on between what's emotionally right for me and what I think should be right for me. And stepping back and being able to say emotionally and logically, I'm seeing myself as honestly as I can. And it moves us into a place of prosperity, into a place for our inner self being able to celebrate where we've come from, how hard we've worked, what we've achieved. Yes, we still have goals. Yes, we still have ideas. Yes, we're still putting it out there. But there is this real sense here of what I have done is good. And what I have done needs to be honored now. It's not time to look at the big picture. We just can't. We need to look at this moment right here and celebrate it. And it might be that it's time to stop looking at the bigger picture. Oh, my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan, my 3-year plan. It's time to look at now. Not even a year plan. It's like, okay, what's my plan for today? Not forgetting to plan for the future, because, that would be silly, but not being obsessed with the future. Not saying it has to be like this or else it's wrong. It's like, no, I get to celebrate where I am right now. And yes, there's going to be back-breaking work to come. There always is. But where I am right now gets to be honored. Even if it's not where I want to be, it still gets to be honored. Because even if it's one of the darkest moments in my life, it still is a pivotal part of my story. Have you ever watched a movie or read a book where everything just goes along perfectly all the time and it's saccharine sweet and you think, what the heck is this? If you're reading a book to a little kid and it's like that, you're like, oh, wow, this is boring. And the kid is bored and you're bored and it's like, oh my goodness. Stories have trauma and drama in them. Sometimes to an unbelievable degree, as do lives. Now, we like to see the hero win. We do. And so we have to take our wins where they are. We have to look at ourselves and say, I'm still standing. This might be the hardest moment of my life, or I know the hardest moment of my life, but I don't get to keep on reliving it. I get to celebrate when I've done well and how I've pulled myself up. With the Page of Cups, the Prince of Cups, the Page of Cups, there's a sense here of getting inspiration from the most unlikely of places, of being a student of our heart and starting to listen. And I always think of the story of Finn McCool and the salmon of wisdom that comes to him. And because of that salmon, he now has this tremendous wisdom. And it's because of a fish that we are wise. So we can take that in kind of a Christian sense or a Judeo-Christian sense, and we can take that to mean wisdom spiritually, but we can also take that to mean that if we step back and we just listen to the river that's within our body, we listen to the beating of our heart, the pumping of our blood, we listen to who we are, we will be surprised at the answers that come to us. We'll be surprised at the revelations. We'll be surprised at what we're supposed to be honoring and where we're supposed to be. And if what we are honoring is telling us, you know what, where you are isn't right. Because sometimes that's the case. Sometimes we're trying to fit ourselves into a world that we think is right. It's like, okay, I should grow up. I should, do things right, settle things down, and just kind of be like everybody else. But if our soul is meant to stand out and not conform, then that becomes harder. But even if our soul is meant to stand out in smaller ways, it becomes hard to bury that down and bury that down. Now it's time to listen. And then our hearts are moved to move. We're going to find that we're ending. We're ending a saga. We're ending a drama that's coming to a close of a chapter, the end of a scene. We're walking away from something we once thought we would love because we're bringing something new into the world. Now, are our hearts ready for this new thing? Are our hearts ready for the wishes that are granted and the beauty that's coming forward and the passion that is a part of us? Sometimes yes and sometimes no. But it's still going to be coming forward. It's the waters coming at our feet and feeding and nourishing ourselves and our land. We're walking away from something that doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't fit, and we can't make it fit. The Eight of Cups is an ending. It's a powerful ending, it's an intense ending, but it's an ending that needs to happen. We can mourn it, we can, have a very, Greek drama way of, gnashing of the teeth, pulling of the hair sort of thing. But we need to release, and we need to move forward. And we need to understand that maybe what we had envisioned isn't what divinity had envisioned for us, and not what everything that we're learning, everything that we've been through, all the pain, all the hardship, all the suffering. It's not going to birth forward what we thought it was going to bring us, or what we thought we would have. It's a different path, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad one. And our hearts are coming to terms with the love of something, but also the loss of something else. So it can be a confusing time, but it is still a powerful time. It moves us to being a king. The King of Wands has the Ouroboros eating his own tail. Now, we could say that that's destruction, right? The Ouroboros is literally eating himself. And yes, we can say we're literally eating ourselves. But what we are doing is we are taking the wisdom that we gather through life, and we devour it. It becomes what we live by, until the knowledge that we gather strengthens that wisdom, hones that wisdom further, and moves us in a different way. So we're always constantly devouring who we are and building more to who we are until the dance is done. There's also a sense of courage. There's a sense of transformation. There's a sense of not sitting on the sidelines. The King of Wands always looks kind of ready to spring out of his seat, to go forward, to roll up his sleeves, to get his hands dirty. And that's going to be us during this time. We like action. We want to know, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to move this forward? What can I do? And if the answer is nothing, that's going to be very frustrating. We're going to want, especially in the public arena, to be able to see the problem and answer the problem. And it's especially of the heart. Emotionally, how is this making me feel? We're going to be acting a little bit reactionary to our emotions during this time. So being mindful of that and being mindful that we can be manipulated in the realms of our emotions is going to be very important. The Nine of Cups is a blessing that comes, a wish that comes. We don't see it. We're busy guarding what we have, yes, but we're not going to take in the blessing of it, the beauty of it, the harmony of it. So at this time, it's kind of like step back from guarding and saying, this is what I've worked so hard for, and start with celebrating ourselves, celebrating what we've achieved, celebrating who we are, and then starting to see the wishes around us, the ways that we are moving forward, that we hadn't anticipated, we hadn't expected. And it starts to open up doors. Now, let's see here. What is being... Because there's insight that's being hidden from us in our inner selves. What is being hidden from Sagittarius? What is being hidden from Sagittarius? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Hierophant and the Seven of Pentacles. So the Hierophant comes up again. It's something that's intrinsic to us, intrinsic to our prosperity, our well-being. The Seven of Pentacles is patience. Patience. Now, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is a person looking at the pentacles on a vine or on a bush and saying, and looking at it, leaning on his staff and looking at the work that he has to do and knowing that it's not ripe yet. Here, it's shopping bags. and it's pentacles following her. So there's something that we're trying to, what is hidden from us is what we're trying to buy, but we're not finding the satisfaction in it. It's not going to be able to be accumulated through monetary means. It's just not. It's going to be the sense, and it comes with kind of a monastic air to it, this sense of humble surrender to a greater power, a greater understanding, and a greater calling into ourselves. So what is this greater calling for Sagittarius? What is this greater calling for Sagittarius? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Again, 2. The 3 of Wands, it's to move forward. And the Ace of Water is to be blessed, to be cleansed, to have heartbreaks and pains and disappointments move away. So it's coming out of a trap. It's coming out of a place of despair, of heartbreak, of not being good enough. It's almost like it's a sorrow that we're trying to fill through either over shopping or over something, some sort of something that is like an addiction to us. And we're looking at the future. And what we're not realizing is that if we do not take the keys ourselves, if we do not open up this world of spiritual understanding to our hearts, we will not be able to move forward the way that we so desire. We just won't be. And there's going to be something of a cleansing away of negativity and an opening of our eyes. And it can be a little bit painful. It would be much easier to be able to buy the latest gadget, for $19.99 and everything be better. But it's not really going to work that way. So what are we walking away from? What are we walking away from? What is Sagittarius walking away from? What is Sagittarius walking away from? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The 6 of Cups, our childhood. We're walking away from the fairy tale. And that's harsh. That's harsh. We're walking away from how we wish it could be. We're walking away from the negativity from others, the seeds of doubt and anger and heartbreak and pain that our caregivers, that people who were supposed to be on our side, that our first loves planted in our mind, friends, siblings, and we're starting to see who we truly are for it. And it's interesting because we're birthing something forward. We're creating something. What is Sagittarius creating? What is Sagittarius creating? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The King of Waters. The heart. We're creating being the king of the heart. Just as at a root itself, it's like, this is who I am. This is what I need. This is who I'm aware of. This is who I have control over and who I don't. It's me. Period, end of discussion. The King of Waters comes in and it's like, it's me. And I'm seeing who I am. I'm seeing what I need. I'm understanding this more and more and more. And what I'm creating is not a fairy tale anymore. It's something very real. And it can almost be brutally real at times. But it's something empowering, invigorating, and defining. But there's something we want to change. What is it that we're guarding against in the public arena? What is it that we're guarding against in the public arena? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. The Knight of Cups. We're guarding against our hearts. We're guarding against the vulnerability of our hearts, the fact that we're looking in the past, thinking, I should be able to figure this out, I should be able to see this. We're looking in the past, trying to navigate the present, and that's just not going to work. So here, what we're guarding against is the vulnerability of our hearts, but where we need to embrace our passion, our power, and our desire is within the vulnerability of our hearts. It starts to open things up. So what are we ready to fight for? What are we ready to defend? Because I can just see that so clearly. We're ready to defend something. And we need to, what are we ready to defend? What is Sagittarius? Ready to defend. What is Sagittarius? Ready to defend. angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, they just flew right out. I love that. The hard work that we've put in and the nightmares that we have, that we're never going to get the credit, we're never going to be able to move forward. It's not going to work out the way that we thought. Nightmares, doubts, fears, things that keep us up at night. It's like it makes us feel like this is a battle that will never end. We have to hold our place, and we're worried that we will not have it. And the fact of the matter is here, it's like we will have it. We will have the place that we fight for. It might not be exactly how we thought it would be or how we envisioned it coming forward, but it will be there. So do be aware of that. Our spirit animal message. Sagittarius, May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. May 16th to the 31st, 2021, Sagittarius. Angels. The outer spirit. You are never alone. And that's important. Because especially with our world now, it's like we feel alone. We feel alone. We feel separate. We feel more divided at times in this world than ever before. Or maybe not ever before, but we feel quite divided. And now it's time to know that we're never alone. That we as human beings have more in common than we don't. But we also have our angels and our spirit guides with us. We also have this connection to divinity that empowers our souls and opens our eyes. Our subconscious spirit animal message is the wombat spirit. Be at home. Be at home within yourself. Be at home within your dreams. Be at home within your desires. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is balance, the root chakra. Being in balance with the masculine and feminine energy that makes us up. Being in balance with what we want from our world, what we long for, what we're seeking, what we've achieved. Being in balance is a very good thing for us. And subconsciously we want that. We want that balance. But this is a time where it feels out of balance, where it feels like there's so much change moving us. There's so much guiding us. There's so many emotions coming forward that the balance seems hard to understand. But it really is going to be an imperative thing and a beautiful thing. But it's going to take work to have the balance come forward. Now, the subconscious energy that we have to be mindful of is the Lord. This is Aries energy, March 21st to April 19th is the time frame. But this is an energy of I know best. This is a fire sign energy of dominance and power and determination. For us to be mindful of this is to be mindful of these attributes, excuse me, these attributes within ourselves, but also to be mindful of how we can be kind of intrigued by people who have these attributes of power and force. Because we're going to think, oh, well, that's a really good thing. And it's like, no, there needs to be an open sharing that goes on here. There needs to be a beauty, and we need to follow that beauty. We need to follow those stars forward, the creation, the coming together. The subconscious tarot message starts with the Three of Pentacles. We're afraid that we're not going to be seen as the hard workers that we are, as putting in the time and the effort that we have. But it's starting to acknowledge ourselves, saying, I know I've done this. I know I've pushed this way. I know it. And it's starting to honor ourselves and letting that move forward, not giving the credit to somebody else within our own minds. Because once we take credit for it within our own minds, it makes it easier for us to take credit for what we have accomplished within the waking world. It then brings us to the Fool. It lets us move on our journey. The Fool is a beginning. The Fool can be the foolish person who begins. But we need to blow that horn. We need to go after our goals. We need to, charge forward in one way or another. The Fool is every single person who tries. Every single person who goes off the beaten path, or who is even on the beaten path and dares to dream. We are all fools. We just are. And every single hero within the world, every single person who succeeds is at first laughed at, mocked, ridiculed. And sometimes even success will not stop the ridicule, and that's fine. The Fool moves forward. Move forward. Take that leap. It leads us to our subconscious message for this whole entire reading. And it's the Eight of Pentacles. This has been worked hard for. This isn't something that is willy-nilly or just, thought up in an instant. This is hard work and dedication to create, to cultivate, to bring forward prosperity and to build prosperity. It's our 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. It's the ability to look and see and understand and dive deeper. And that's what we're embracing here. We're not embracing the fact that we're excellent at something right off the gate or right out of the gate. What we are embracing is the fact that we can learn, we can adapt, we can, put in the time and the effort. And you know what? That's really important. Yes, everybody would love to be a savant, but we can't. Everybody would love to be astoundingly gifted in just one thing and wake up knowing it. We're not. But what we are is the hard workers and adapters and people who put in the time and the effort. And that means a lot. It really does. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we are determined fighters. Yeah. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius.